Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
I mean, whatever happens, happens. So let's see. One way to find out.
5 people are watching.
Oh, well, here we go. Can't go back now.
All right, cool. We've gone too far.
Yep. What's up, guys?
Hey.
I am here with Republic Crypto. This is my buddy Bryan here.
What up?
What up? So it's going well. You know, this is a nice office you guys have.
I like it. It's not too bad. The view's pretty nice. I know you guys can't see it, but it's nice. It's pretty nice. Better than our old office, which was basically a queen-size bedroom. It was like literally the size of maybe half of this, and then imagine 2 desks back to back.
Oh, you guys started off small.
Yeah, we started off really small. Actually, when I joined the team, there were only 2 people in the San Francisco office. Now we have about 6 people.
Okay. Oh, those are the people I just met over there.
Yeah.
Ah, dude, and then you guys went from almost nobody to closing $12 million deals.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say we were nobody. We actually have a pretty substantial team in New York.
Okay.
Before we started the San Francisco office, and we've been doing this for about 2 years on the fundraising for standard equity deals, and we just started doing crypto about maybe like in December of last year.
Okay, so you guys are traditional VCs.
Yeah, you can think of it traditionally. We started with fundraising for traditional startups, and where these early stage companies can crowd fund equity in their on our platform, and we've been doing that since 2016 through something that was called the Jobs Act, and that was passed during the Obama era.
All right, Obama.
Yeah, Obama, and through that it basically allowed non-accredited investors to invest like their angel investors. Okay. So and we facilitated that through our platform, and then we started doing crypto about like I said, December of last year.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
cool. So, I mean, before we jump into what you guys do, tell me about yourself. Like, where you from? Where you born? What ethnicity are you?
Yeah. I was born in Los Angeles. I know you're from LA.
Yeah.
Or no, you're not from LA. You live in LA.
Yeah, I was born in Texas.
You're born in Texas, yeah.
I was born in Texas.
I was born in Anaheim, and I grew up in like an hour east of downtown LA in a city called Walnut. And
I know where that's at.
Yeah, and spent most of my life there. In terms of ethnicity, actually, this is a pretty interesting question. What do you think I am? Because I get this all the time.
I would say Cambodian.
Cambodian? No, close.
Vietnamese?
No, not really.
Cantonese?
I am Chinese. I'm half Chinese.
Which dialect?
It's Mandarin.
Okay.
I think that there's that. My mom is Chinese and my dad is Burmese. From
Burmese,
Southeast
Burma.
Asia. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So my mom she's Chinese, but she grew up in Burma, and my dad is full Burmese from Burma. So I'm actually like 100% Burmese, but my mom is like she's got Chinese blood, so it makes me half Chinese.
Okay, cool.
Culturally speaking.
Okay, so I am actually. We can guess. Guess what I am.
Oh, let's go. Okay, fine. We'll play this game. You are also, I would consider like ethnically ambiguous, but definitely Asian.
Yeah, definitely Asian. Yeah.
China. You got some Chinese in you?
Yeah, Cantonese,
and
you'll never guess it. Vietnamese? No, it's not.
You're never gonna get. It's not Asian.
You're not gonna guess it.
Portuguese.
Oh, how'd you know?
Wait, am I right?
You're right.
Oh shit!
How'd you know?
No, I didn't know.
No, for real though.
No, I didn't know. No, I seriously didn't know.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm Portuguese and Cantonese. That is weird. Yo.
Oh, I didn't. No, I honestly didn't know. I didn't like. I just met you like just.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Okay. So I'm Portuguese and Cantonese.
That's fucking, like, are you half Portuguese?
I'm a quarter.
Quarter Portuguese. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you speak Portuguese?
No, unfortunately I don't.
Yeah.
I speak Cantonese though.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah.
I do not. I speak English. I speak a little bit of Burmese. I learned a lot of Spanish growing up in Los Angeles. Of course, basically got to know it.
Yeah. So what's your day to day like? What do you do when you first wake up? Do you work out? Do you go straight to the office here? Do you?
So the first thing I do when I wake up. So basically, I've optimized my mornings to do as little as possible, besides get ready and go to work. The reason being is I'm a night owl. So I do a lot of my work at night. And I don't like waking up super early. So what I do is when I wake up, I streamline basically my whole like get up, pick my clothes out, get ready. All that stuff is like pre-decided the night before.
Okay.
So that when I get up, I can just like not really think and just do everything that's been set up already and just like go out the door. So I basically set it up so that I can wake up and be out the door in about 20 minutes and then just be like ready to go.
That's pretty good. I should like do that. Because it takes me forever. It takes me like an hour.
Yeah.
I just like spend forever. I'm like in the bathroom, like trying to get up, and just like and then I try not to get on my phone, in the morning.
I know it's hard. Like a Slack. So like for Republic, most of our team is in New York, and it's like lunchtime for them by the time that I'm like up and ready to go. Right. So I'm like checking Slack. It's just like blowing up every morning. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to not check, but I try to like keep up every morning.
So how do you manage bi-coastal offices like that?
So it's pretty good. I mean, we try to be really respectful of each other's time. I actually just came back from the Republic office.
We'll get to you, Julian.
Yeah, we'll talk to you, Julian. So we try to be really respectful of each other's time. I try not to message the East Coast people super late, or when I do, I make it pretty obvious that I'm not expecting a response. Yeah. And then I also request the same thing for the people in New York that are up at 3 a.m. my time, but they're already up at 6 a.m. New York time. I make it pretty clear that I'm also not available.
So you're considered a human being, which I am not, because like Rachel's in New York and Gio's here. I'm just like, Gio's he's our director. Okay. He sleeps early. He wakes up at 5 in the morning. Oh, God. And then Rachel's in New York. I'm like spamming them like really late all the time. They're just like, stop spamming me. Yeah. And then as soon as I wake up, so I should be more considerate.
We tried to be. I mean, well, the thing is like we know we're always working. We're always on trying to get things done, but at the same time, like we also need sleep. So yeah, I totally get it. And I love sleep personally, so I totally understand. I try to set the expectation that I'm not going to try to bother people, and I don't expect active responses during off work hours, even though we could still be sending each other messages.
Yeah. Right? Have you seen that meme though? Like crypto don't sleep, so I don't sleep.
Yeah, crypto don't sleep, man. I used to trade crypto, and that was a crazy time in my life because everyone's like, "Oh, when's Korea waking up? I gotta be awake for that."
3 o'clock my time. Yeah. That's when it goes.
So those are crazy times behind me now. I don't do that shit anymore. But it's crazy.
I don't either. Actually, long-term investment. All right. So Julian says, "Who are your current investors and backers?"
Yeah, we have. So for those of you that haven't seen the press releases, we currently raised $12 million, led by Binance Labs, Neo Global Capital, Passport Capital, a few other people. Julian, looking at you.
It's calling you out.
Yeah, thank you very much. Those are our main backers. We're really, really happy, really excited that they've decided to support us and our vision of democratizing access for investors. Mm-hmm. And just super excited. Like I think having really strategic and smart crypto partners like Game Theory Group, GTG, that's what's up. Yeah. Cool. And people like Binance and Neo, like having those partners is super instrumental, and like leveraging those like strong networks is going to be pretty crucial to our success. Okay,
well let's jump in because I know Julian has a lot of questions. We'll get to that in a second. So what exactly is Republic? How did you guys come up with that name?
Yeah, so Republic, so I knew you were going to ask me this question, so I actually pulled up the definition of what a republic is.
Oh, what?
And I'm going to read this.
Is it because you've been watching the other ones? How'd you know?
I know how to do this. So Republic, a republic is a state in which supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives, and which has an elected or nominated president rather than a monarch, or a group with certain equality between its members.
So you guys are equal.
So we're equal. So essentially our goal is to democratize financial access to the retail public. So what that means is we are a platform for which everyday people like me, you, and everybody that's watching can invest in startups like angel investors. That applies to standard startups like traditionally startups sell equity, which is like ownership in the company. But also in recent times, these are companies that are selling tokens in the form of token sales. Right. So we allow what's called the retail public, otherwise known as non-accredited investors, to invest in these sort of projects that are listed on our platform.
Right, because you guys are governed by you guys follow SEC rules, right?
Yeah, so we are registered with the SEC and licensed as well, and we're governed by FINRA, so we're very regulated. We work to be very compliant in the way that we do, and that's super important, right? For everyone that's watching in crypto land, big thing here is regulation and how people cannot be fraudulent and scammy and things like that, right?
Pay taxes.
Yeah, pay taxes. Register with the SEC for selling a security. All these things. We try to be at the forefront of this, and we try to make sure that we set an example that, in order for mass adoption of blockchain, right? Everyone here is, we think blockchain is a legitimate technology, and in order for this to be massively adopted, we believe that it has to follow the right rules.
Correct.
And be compliant, right? So we need to be friendly with the government. We need to be friendly with the SEC to facilitate, adopting this new technology the right way.
I see. So you guys are good at following the rules, especially in America. Because if you go somewhere else, like China, Australia, Mexico, it's a free for all.
It's free for all. So then that's something that we're seeing, right? We're seeing a lot of these crypto and blockchain companies hold their token sales and say something along the lines of, okay, we're allowing people to invest in our public main sale, but no American investors and no Chinese investors, or something like that, right?
Yeah, all the time.
And that's a problem, because that means that people in America that want to participate in these sales can't do it because of how strict our laws are here.
Right.
Whereas if you go and incorporate somewhere in like the Caymans or Singapore or Switzerland, like where the rules are a little bit more relaxed, it's a lot more easy, and a lot of the talent and the good projects and the good people are like kind of starting to go that way and do their activities there. But then you're kind of leaving out Americans, which, there's a lot of good investors, smart money, a lot of capital that can be deployed from U.S. citizens and the U.S. general public. And our platform kind of exists to allow people like us to invest.
So that means I would be able to invest if I also, talk to me like I'm a 12-year-old, new to investing, right?
Yeah.
Obviously 12-year-olds can't invest, but let's say that
you must be 18 years or older to invest on Republic.
So what do? I just sign up for your investment platform, and then I can just jump in there?
Yeah, so you basically go on our website, republic.co, and then you can sign up. And basically what it does, we do basic, what's called KYC AML checks. KYC stands for Know Your Customer.
Okay.
AML stands for Anti-Money Laundering.
Okay.
We basically do these basic checks to make sure that the people that are on our platform are legitimate people.
How do you guys do that? You guys run background checks?
Yeah, basic checks, basic background checks, basic bad actor checks, things like that. And we also do a self-reported income check. So just like to set some basic definitions, there's something called an accredited investor status and an unaccredited investor status.
And what's the difference besides being accredited, or how do you get that?
Yeah, so to become a accredited investor, I might botch this a little bit, but basically you need to have a net worth of over $1 million or have an income above a certain level, which, not everybody, I would say actually that's like top 1 or 2% of Americans that fit there. Right. And those are the people that can invest in anything, right? They because you have an accredited investor status, that basically means that you can invest in many things, and you don't have to, you're not subject to the same restrictions as unaccredited investors.
Oh, so the smaller people have more rules against them.
Sort of, yeah. And that's kind of like the government's way of saying, like, because you don't have as much money, you're more, you can't invest as much because you can lose more, right? And that's going to be more hurtful for people that have lower income than people that have higher income, right? That's like the way that the government frames it, right? Because you have more money, like, you don't have to, you can take more risks. But if you don't have as much money, you shouldn't be taking as many risks, which is why the government limits certain investors to certain things.
So the rich get richer, and then the little guys, they get nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But if you go on Republic, right, like you can now invest as if you were an angel investor, right? So this is something that was enabled by something that's called Title III of the Jobs Act.
Okay.
That was passed in, I want to say 2013 to 2015, around that time.
Okay.
And in Title III of the Jobs Act, there's something called Reg CF. regulation crowdfunding.
I'm 12.
Yeah, regulation crowdfunding.
Okay.
It's basically a piece of it's some law that allows companies to fundraise from non-accredited investors, people that aren't rich.
Right. And
it allows these companies to now be able to raise money from this like population of investors.
Is it a pool of liquidity? Is that what it is, kind of?
So what it is if you're a company, so say you want to do Cryptonaut coin, right?
Yeah.
And you want to fundraise Cryptonaut coin. In order for that to happen, you need to register with the SEC to say that, hey, I'm like now selling a security. So we're kind of operating under this is like another can of worms, but we're operating under the assumption that most ICOs in today's day in the United States will be securities. Because there's an argument that most tokens can also be considered utility tokens, in which case they're not subject to SEC laws.
So what's the difference? I know Crypto Bobby said that I talked to him a little bit about security tokens. He said that's the next thing.
Yeah.
So you said yeah too. So expand on that. Like what is that?
And because we're in the camp that we want blockchain to be massively adopted by following the rules, right? We are operating under the assumption that tokens that are offered during a token sale are considered securities. For those of you that don't know what securities are, it's basically there's a few ways to determine if something is a security or not, but in a explain like I'm 5 type of world, if it's something you want to invest in to make money with, you can kind of call it a security. There's obviously like a deeper definition to it. Okay. But if it's something that you're investing in and you're expecting to make a profit because other people are putting in work, like you're investing in Tesla stock, right? Because you think that Elon Musk is going to make Tesla great.
I think so.
Yeah.
So that's security.
That's a security. So if you're investing in a token sale, right, and purchasing those tokens in hopes that some project is going to make the value of those tokens go up, then that can potentially be a security.
I see. So what's a utility then? So
utility is the counter argument. So if you are investing in a project and they say that their token has utility in the network, meaning it's basically used as like a way to interact with the product and almost like a Chuck E. Cheese token, right?
So you play the game. Yeah.
Like definitely utility token, right? You're like using this token, you're paying 25 cents to get this token and play games, and that's all there is to it. You're not expecting this token to increase in value.
Right, because it's always going to be worth 3 tokens for X-Men or whatever.
Yeah, so that's the utility token, right? And you can maybe think of certain projects as having utility tokens because they are live and working, right? So if a project is live and working and you can use their token in production, right? You can use it and really get the value of the services, then there's an argument that can be made that it's a utility token.
So is Bitcoin a security and is Ethereum a utility?
So there's definitely a lot of arguments happening around that space right now.
Okay. That's what I'm going to ask you.
Yeah. So recent news from the SEC have actually, confirmed that Bitcoin and Ether are not securities, right? Which is pretty good for the most part, right? Yeah. And what that means is because there's sufficient. The reason why I think that's the case is because there's sufficient network activity, developer activity. There's a lot of like real world use cases for Bitcoin and also for Ether, which is the currency of Ethereum. Right. Then there's a pretty strong case that can be made that it's not a security.
I see.
But for other projects that may be not as live, right? So they don't have as much activity. They're maybe like in beta phase. They're not really ready for public use. Then those tokens, like it's more gray area.
I see. Okay. Yeah. So let's move on to Rufus says debitum. Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that means.
All right.
Rutha, can you please explain what that means?
Yeah. And while we do that, shout out to D-Chain. They just launched their MVP today.
Awesome.
So that's great.
Yeah, seeing progress is great. I know Julian just mentioned a few things right here.
Right, CoinList. What is your guys' relationship with CoinList and the partnership around that? And you also mentioned AngelList.
Yeah.
Right. So break it down to me. What's an angel investor first off?
Yeah.
Let's say, I've never invested before.
Totally. So angel investor is someone that invests in a company at a very, very early stage with their own money. Right?
Okay.
So basically, angel investor, if say you were a millionaire, I'm not sure if you're a millionaire or not, but if you're a millionaire and you decided that you want to invest in your friend's startup, right? Like say your friend was opening up like a boba shop and you wanted to invest in that boba shop, you can give them $100,000 to just get things going. You're now an angel investor.
Okay, so do you want to start a boba shop?
Yeah.
I got you.
I actually really do want to start a boba shop. So
I will talk after this.
We'll talk about that.
That's fine.
Yeah. So that's what angel investors are. So Angel List is a list. So you can almost think of Angel List is a company that consolidates angel investors, puts them into a network, and then they can start investing in projects together. Right.
Okay.
So it's also popularly known as almost like a platform where you can look at different startups and look at different jobs available at different startups, look at profiles of different startups and things like that. So it's very much focused on the startup ecosystem and investors in that startup ecosystem.
Okay, and then CoinList is also part of your family. You said it's Republic, AngelList, and CoinList,
right?
Yeah,
and Product Hunt. So there's four.
Product what?
Product Hunt.
So
Product Hunt you can almost think of as like Reddit, but for products. So there's different products can list on Product Hunt, and then you just kind of learn about them. People can upvote them and things like that, and you can just kind of see cool new products that are happening all the time in the startup space and things like that.
So how do you guys all work together? What is the relationship?
Yeah, we all work together. So AngelList, as I mentioned, is kind of like this startup ecosystem website.
Yeah.
CoinList is a company that allows accredited investors to invest in token sales.
So CoinList, you have to be accredited.
You have to be accredited. So this is where Republic and CoinList are very complementary. So as mentioned before, Republic allows non-accredited investors to invest in projects.
Right.
CoinList is a platform for accredited investors to invest in projects. So in theory, if you are doing an ICO or a token sale, you can launch on both Republic and CoinList at the same time and just give access to everybody.
That's dope.
Right. So there is very complementary. We work very closely together to launch projects together and kind of like showcase what we believe are like high quality projects in the blockchain space. In an industry where maybe high quality projects are not as easy to come by.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I still want to jump into your team, but Henry says it's republic.co. Salzara. What's the like shirt dude's company website? Republic.co.
Yeah.
That's the investment.
Republic.co. It's right there.
Dot
.co. Yeah.
After. Yeah. So Republic Co. Henry says, what are you guys doing to protect people's investment money? Meaning, is it going straight to the project? Do you guys hold it in a multi-sig, cold storage? What are you guys doing for custody? That's a great question.
Yep, that's a great question. So I'm just going to answer it one by one. What are we doing to protect people's investment money? So because we are a registered funding platform, we do have the duty to make sure that the projects that are on our platform are legitimate. So we do have a pretty robust due diligence process to make sure that all the projects that list on our platform have been vetted by our team and are definitely not scams, right? So we check the team, we check the technology, we definitely look at their financials, we make sure that every project that we showcase for our investor base is a credible project and high quality. So that's what we do on our side to protect people. Of course, this is still an investment, and investment comes with risk. So it's really up to you guys to decide whether or not you want to invest or not. But we do our best to present to you guys what we believe are like very, very high quality and credible projects. And the second part is your money going straight to the project? Yes, definitely. We do not, we're very open with our fees with the project. So for example, if you're a project that wants to list on our platform, we have a 8% fee, which is on our website, very transparent. We take 6% of the cash raised on our platform and 2% of the tokens raised on our platform. Okay. And that's it. Nice. And then everything else goes straight to the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys hold it in a multi-sig, cold storage?
Yeah. So maybe some definitions to people that don't understand what this stuff means. Multi-sig stands for a multi-signature wallet. Okay. So as you know, for tokens, you have what's called wallets, digital wallets. A multi-signature wallet is a wallet that requires more than one person to authorize it to withdraw funds.
Is that with the private key?
With private keys, yeah. So the private key is part of the wallet. So say we have a multi-sig wallet together, and there's 10 ether in it. Okay. I just can't withdraw that ether without your permission. That's why it's a multi-signature wallet.
So we both have to sign off on it.
Yeah.
And then is it how do they split? So is it like they split the private key in half and they make it into a new product?
It's almost like a puzzle piece. The private key is there, but it needs both me and you to unlock access to what it is.
So I have half the private key, you have the other half, kind of?
You can think of it that way, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can think of it as maybe like a lock and requires my thumbprint and your thumbprint at the same time to unlock it.
Or retinal scan?
Yeah, retinal scan. So both look at it at the same time.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. So so as far as the tokens, so the question is, do we hold it in multi-sig? Currently, our platform, we don't take cryptocurrency payments. We take only a credit card and ACH at the moment.
That's wire transfer. Right?
Wire transfers. So those are all held in escrow, traditional finance methods. As far as when we start taking crypto, if and when we start taking crypto, we will definitely have a robust asset custody solution in place for that. But right now, we aren't taking crypto, so that's not something that we're looking at the moment.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about team. So Julian says, tell us about the team's background. I don't want to butcher his name. Naval Ravikant?
Naval Ravikant, yep.
He's an advisor. And who's he and who's on your team?
Yeah, so Naval Ravikant, he's the CEO of AngelList. He's I would consider him a pretty famous thought leader in the investment space, in the angel investor space. If you just go to his Twitter, you'll see some pretty, I would consider maybe like enlightening tweets about how to operate, how to think about things, how to invest, how to just generally live life.
Can you share some of those with us?
Yeah, I mean, I can totally, you know what, I'm just going to pull up the latest tweets that he has right now, because I just go on his Slack or his Twitter and try to understand and comprehend what's going on in his brain. I'm just going to pull it up right now. He's at Naval.
And then Henry says, awesome, thanks for the answer. Where can we find your contact info? I know you're multitasking right now.
Yeah.
His number is...
Yeah. My contact info. Our contact info. Oh, just go to our website, and if you have a project that you want to list, then just apply. Otherwise, you can contact me, Bryan at republic.co.
So that's BRYAN.
Yeah, @republic.co.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What is the dude in the black shirt secret to his perfectly manicured hair?
Oh man, Aditya. You know what? I will tell you the secret.
I'm cracking up right now. Sorry.
I don't know. It's all in the. I'm gonna say it's all in the product. Honestly, it's about like having the perfect product. I've tried so many things in the past. This guy right here also has really magnificent hair. I'm sure we could probably talk about this for a little bit. Bro. No, it looks great. I would say use matte clay. That's where the secret lies. Layrite is a pretty good brand. I'd recommend that one. And yeah. Clay. That's where it's at, man. No gel, no what's that shiny stuff? Pomade. Yeah, no gel, no pomade, at least for my hair. And everyone's hair is different. FYI, I've tried many things. But I personally, I like matte. Tracy, so the product that I like is actually called Layrite. So if you go to Amazon and search Layrite, there's a blue one. I forgot what it's called, but it's blue. Layyrite. It's hair product. And there's a blue one, and that's the one that I use, and it's great. So highly recommend. Also, I'm not paid to say this, but I get my haircut at People's Barber in San Francisco. They just launched a new product. They just launched a new hair product, and it's pretty good. And I started using that too. So that's what I like.
Dope.
All right. All right. Back to Naval.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Just like today, he says, decisions. If you can't decide, the answer is no.
So if you're on the fence, it's no.
Yeah, he just gives like pretty interesting life advice. I mean, maybe some of these are self-explanatory or very obvious, but the way that he presents his thoughts are very clear and almost like philosophical in a way.
Okay.
So I really like him. He also has a lot of really good podcasts out. So for those of you that are new to cryptocurrency, I would highly recommend that you look up Naval and Tim Ferriss. They have a joint podcast episode on the Tim Ferriss podcast, and that's like probably one of the best introductions to blockchain podcasts that I've seen. Okay. So it's hosted by Tim Ferriss. Naval Ravikant is in it, and also Nick Szabo, Szabo. Yep, are those three guys together is just like the trifecta of like podcast knowledge for blockchain. So highly recommend.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, Naval, CEO of AngelList, also this Twitter, I would say philosophical thought leader.
Yeah, let's just go through these three right here.
Yeah, we just go through this.
If you can't decide, the answer is no. So if you're on the fence about something, don't do it.
Don't do it. If two equally difficult paths, choose the one more painful in the short term.
Interesting. So push through the pain first.
Yeah.
And then they're both going to be hard anyways.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then choose the path that leaves you more equanimous in the long term. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I was about to say. Like,
what does equanimous mean?
That's a big word.
I don't know.
I guess equal is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But
sorry, Naval. Hope you're not watching this one. There's another good one. Whether hiring or investing, you don't get the best deal at the best price. That's pretty smart, right? Like, you don't go for the cheapest thing.
Yo, this dude is. Keep going.
He's got some stuff, man. All right, we'll do one more.
He's pretty smart.
Yeah, he's got some stuff here. This is complex. The better the reviewed knows the reviewer, the kinder the review. Negative reviewers get rarer as you go from Amazon to Yelp to Airbnb. That makes sense. That just means be cool with people that are reviewing you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically, if I wanted to like ask someone like what they think of Republic, I would ask you. We know each other.
Right.
Instead of like some random person on the street.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also has a really interesting, if you like look at his Twitter, there's a pinned tweet at the front, at the top about how to get rich without getting lucky. It's like an essay. But basically, I just want to talk about the first one really quick.
Okay.
Seek wealth, not money or status. Wealth is having assets that earn while you sleep. Money is how we transfer time and wealth. Status is your place in social hierarchy.
Dude, this dude is
like...
I'm gonna follow him right now.
Yeah, you should. I mean... So, he's an advisor to our company.
That's pretty powerful.
Pretty powerful.
Even Warren Buffett said that, if you're not making money in your sleep, you're gonna work.
Same thing.
Pretty much you're gonna be working every day. So he's on your team. That's great. He's a pretty good, powerful person behind you guys.
But as far as day-to-day people, I mean, one of the reasons why I joined this company is because of the team. I just want to be really upfront about that. The team at Republic is one of the smartest, most intelligent, nicest, thought-provoking people I've met in the space. And just to hammer on our focus on compliance that I mentioned, especially on our crypto team, literally half the team is lawyers.
Oh, what?
That no longer work in law firms, but just work at Republic on blockchain and crypto. So we have that deep legal and compliance lens when applying, our knowledge to blockchain and crypto projects. So I'm very confident that we approach things in the right way because of our team.
Okay, so that's great. I'm glad that you guys have a really strong team.
Yeah.
Another question we have is, on a serious note, what are some of the most interesting developments in the tokenized security space? And what's Republic's role in the development of that ecosystem?
Man, throwing the hard balls.
Get them.
Throwing the hard balls. Okay.
Challenge this guy.
Some of the most interesting developments in the tokenized security space. I would say there's some interesting legal documents that are being drafted in the tokenized security space. So maybe just a primer to kind of set the stage here. For traditional investments, there's a certain legal document called the SAFE, which stands for Simple Agreement for Equity. Okay. All right? That basically is an agreement for investors that says, hey, I'm going to give you money, and in exchange for that, I get this agreement called the SAFE that says I'm going to get equity. Right? Okay. It's like a contract.
So what's a SAFT then? Because I've heard Julian say SAFT, S-A-F-T. Is that the same thing?
So the SAFT is based off the SAFE. So SAFE is let's just think of the SAFE as the original kind of investment document, right?
Okay.
It's been around for a while and it's like the go-to document for investing in early stages. That's the contract that they use. So now that token sales and ICOs have happened, they're like, oh, well, we should have a document that covers tokens. So then they literally replace the E in equity with a T.
Okay.
For tokens. Simple agreement for tokens.
I see.
Right?
I see.
So I think it technically stands for a simple agreement for future tokens or something like that. But basically, it's an agreement to get tokens in exchange for your investment.
Will that hold up in a court of law, though, since it's such a wild west right now?
Exactly. So I like where your head is going.
I
know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah, I like where you're going with this. So SEC has said in the past that they don't think that the SAFT has is not robust enough, right? It's not as like comprehensive as they would like it to be. So Republic, we've taken it upon ourselves. Like I said, we have lawyers on our team. And also I just want to mention that our CEO, Ken Nguyen, used to be general counsel at AngelList and also a securities lawyer. So he definitely knows the space very, very well.
Sick.
And we've decided to come up with our own legal document.
Really?
Yeah, so we have something that is called a token DPA, debt payable by asset. I'm not going to go into the details about this for a few reasons. It's kind of complex, and also I'm not a lawyer. Okay. But basically, it's a more robust version of the SAFT and also provides a little bit more investor protection.
Okay.
Yeah, without going into details. Basically, it's another type of legal document that companies can issue when selling tokens, but it's a little bit more robust, a little bit more friendly for investors.
So it's your version of a more powerful SAFT that actually holds up in court.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it holds up in court because I'm not sure what that actually means, and this hasn't been officially tested in court. But we believe that it is a more robust document than the SAFT.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. What up, Clash? Clash was there for a lot of our live streams. So he says, what would you do if not only the crypto price, but also the user base slowly shrinks, steadily shrinks down to nothing?
So you're talking about crypto in general, I'm guessing, the industry, right?
Yeah.
So honestly, Republic does not depend only on crypto and blockchain technology to survive. We've been a platform to crowdfund early stage companies before crypto was a thing.
Are you allowed to name those companies or no?
You can go on our website. We definitely have all the companies that have raised on our platform on our website, so you can take a look. But these are traditional equity-based companies. So these are companies that sell equity to non-accredited investors, and we've been doing that since before crypto. So I would say, personally I'm bullish on crypto and blockchain technology, but if for some reason something happens and crypto and blockchain become, extinct, then that does not necessarily mean that Republic will become extinct. Actually, quite the opposite. We've built a business. The initial vision of our business did not include crypto.
So you guys are actually based on traditional investments, and so even if crypto crashes and burns and the entire internet just shuts down, which is very unlikely, but let's say the meter comes, internet no more.
Yeah, meteor will destroy the internet. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what everybody believes. So,
yeah.
So and futuristic robots come and Skynet happens.
Yeah. Then we'll still be good.
Right.
Republic will still be good.
That's great.
And also the last point here, the price of crypto, the price, the general market cap valuation of cryptocurrencies and blockchains go down. I'm personally not worried. I think that if the technology is sound and we approach things the right way, legally, compliantly, government friendly, then there is no reason for that to happen. I truly believe that blockchain technology definitely has its own use cases. It doesn't apply to everything in the world, but there are definitely use cases in which I believe will cause it to stay in our lifetime and be
relevant.
Successful. Yeah, stay relevant. Yeah.
Okay, so this, so I don't know if you can tell me about what Republic is investing in, but maybe let's talk about your personal investments. What's your portfolio looking like? Do you mind me? I'm just gonna ask it. What's your portfolio like? Here it goes.
Sure. First off, I want to mention that Republic does not invest, right? So we're a platform for investments. Republic does not invest in companies. Republic is a platform for which people like you and me can invest in companies.
Okay.
Right. So
understood.
So Republic does not go into different companies and say, hey, we're going to invest. We're not a fund. We are a platform, kind of like Kickstarter. We're a platform for which people can just kind of sign on and invest in projects that they want to do.
And then how does so what's this? Is it software? It's a platform that's based on TCP Or
yeah, so it's just like a website. So you can think of it as Kickstarter, right? So at Kickstarter, you just visit the website, you sign in, and you find the campaigns that you want to invest in, and then you contribute money, right? Republic is the same idea, but instead of when you invest in Kickstarter, you get like a backpack or a coffee mug or something. On Republic, if you invest, you get shares or tokens in exchange.
I see. Okay, so before we jump into your portfolio, Tom Schnabel says, how do you look so relaxed if Ripple and Ether just dropped 85% in the last 30 minutes? I didn't even know that happened, but I mean, how do you deal with it? I deal with it my way because, I mean, I got in early. I'm a long-term holder.
Let me check to verify this stat. I don't think Ripple and Ether dropped 85% in the last, it did not. Yeah.
Well,
I think he probably means 30 days, maybe, not even. So personally, I would, it didn't. That's a false statement. But
if it did, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Personally, I got into the game, knowing that this is an investment and then it has certain risks, right?
Right.
So like this is something that I tell everybody that invested in cryptocurrencies, from a year ago to 2 years ago to now, today, it doesn't matter. Like invest with money that you're literally willing to throw away.
Yes, right? And I'm willing to throw it all.
Yeah, literally willing to throw away. Like say you have you want to invest $1,000, like don't invest all of it in crypto. Invest maybe 10% of it in crypto, and then the rest of it do traditional investments, right? You want to put it in a savings account, you want to do mutual funds, invest in stocks of companies that you like, things like that, contribute to your 401k, all these other things you can do, and diversify your portfolio so that you're not all in crypto.
Right. I'm 100% into crypto.
Me too, I love crypto.
Yeah.
I am really
update your Binance, man, it's real. It's on sale, that's true. You buy low, sell high, so if it drops 85%, I'm already buying.
Yeah, I mean, if literally Ether was down 85% right now, I would buy.
85% off?
Yeah.
Is that investment advice?
Nope. Nothing that I say is investment advice, or legal advice.
What's preventing you guys from taking crypto in? So you guys are because you guys are only doing credit card and you guys are only doing wire transfer. Yeah. How come you guys are not taking crypto yet? Is it because it's so volatile, or is it because it's so young? Or
so we would love to take crypto. Just want to put that out there. But there are not currently technologies that are robust enough to support industrial grade crypto transfers. What I mean by that is we want to be able to take in Bitcoin, Ether, all these things that crypto investors have, but there are currently not, financially robust, meaning legit companies that allow us to do that. So the tools don't exist, and we would like them to be, and we're monitoring a few projects that are making this happen. But until those projects are mature enough and robust enough to be on a platform that we are comfortable with sharing to our user base, then we will not be taking cryptocurrency payments.
Okay, because that's your reputation on the line. So if something doesn't work, let's say it's like Ripple or whatever it is that's going through and you're accepting it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work on not from the dev end but on the user end, then that'll make Republic look really bad.
Exactly. Yeah. We don't. Our users come first, right? We want to be a trusted platform in which everybody can come in and feel comfortable that they're investing in token sales and also early stage companies. So if we are taking a bet on, this new nascent technology, which is crypto and blockchain, we want to make sure that everything that we present is legitimate, has a good workflow, and is a pleasant user experience for our users. So because that hasn't happened, or nothing has met our standards for that, we have not been able to accept cryptocurrency payments.
Gotcha. All right, another question from Clash. What is the advantage of raising funds on Republic? Why shouldn't I just give away tokens on Kickstarter or simply create an ICO myself?
Yeah, good question. So the reason why you would raise funds on Republic is because you want to have a trusted and compliant platform to do this. If you do this on Kickstarter or you do it yourself, you are not registering with the SEC, provided that your token is a security, and B, you're not on a platform that people can trust or verify or have a friendly user experience on. So what I mean by that is, in order for us to do what we do, we have what's called a funding portal license. That's something that we get with the SEC. So
how do you get that?
You have to apply for it.
And you have to have enough equity.
Yeah. So I don't know the exact details on how you get it, but essentially there's an application process, and you have to, and you know what? I don't know the details. I'm not even going to pretend that I know the details because I don't. It's basically, for those of you that are maybe familiar with what's called a broker-dealer license. That's a license that allows companies like E-Trade to operate.
Okay.
A funding portal license is similar to that. So something that you must receive permission from the U.S. government or the SEC to operate and do what you do. So we have that, and that's what allows us to compliantly run these campaigns on our website.
I see.
So for people that want to do an ICO themselves, like from their house, you can do that. Blockchain technology is set up in such a way that anybody can do anything.
That's right.
But whether or not it's compliant with U.S. law, that's a different question.
I see. Okay, but you guys are law compliant, so
Yes.
it's safer to just go with you guys.
Yes.
I see.
Totally.
So what projects, Henry Wang here says, what projects are you working on that for the robust crypto transfers? Back to the next up.
Yeah, totally.
Which one could you go further on this need of what you need to be developed in order to accept crypto?
Right. Unfortunately, I cannot go deeper into these conversations just because we have NDAs with these companies.
Non-disclosure agreement.
Non-disclosure agreement. So we cannot, especially because we're not even, we're still in the process of figuring it out.
Yeah.
So we cannot go deeper into that. But
okay.
Rest assured, we would love to take crypto. I would love it if people can, contribute Bitcoin or Ether into campaigns on our platform.
So here's a personal question for me. What are some projects, what do you look for in a project, and what are some projects that you are invested in? You don't have to answer the second one, but what requirements do you look for before you invest in a project?
Yeah, so there's kind of a joke in our company. I made a presentation on our diligence process. So when you invest in projects, there's something that's called due diligence that you do, basically research to make sure the company is good.
Yep.
I've come up with something called the 5 T's.
5 T's.
5 T's.
Team.
So, team. Yeah. Can you guess what they are?
I'll guess.
Right, team.
Team. The roadmap.
The roadmap.
The white paper.
So what you described is basically what I call the technology, right? Which includes your white paper and your pitch deck and executive summary. So the 5 T's is your team, your technology, the traction that you have.
Traction is like community?
Traction as community traction, investor traction.
Interesting.
So team, technology, traction, transparency. So how transparent is the project to its investor base?
Okay.
And how much activity are they showing on GitHub, or how open are the founders being with their community?
I see. That's good.
Team,
traction,
technology, transparency.
And one more.
There's a last T. There is a last T.
Gray tea, black tea.
No, I wish. Sorry, give me 1 second while I figure out what this last T is. I came up with it myself, and I can't even figure it out.
That's pretty smart, though.
I
think for me, what do you think about Cardano? I like Cardano.
Cardano's a good project. Yeah.
I
like it. Cardano's a really strong project. I think, personally, if you ask me, I think it got a little bit too much hype too early on.
Yeah.
Which led it to get kind of a negative reputation. But that's kind of common with a lot of cryptocurrency projects, because they'll say that they have this grand vision, and everyone's like, oh shoot, that's super awesome, I'm going to invest. But the reality is it's going to take them about a year or two to execute on this vision.
Right.
And in order for that to happen, the price you can't expect the price to suddenly shoot up, even though the development of the project hasn't occurred, even though the promise is there.
Right.
That's kind of what happened with Cardano.
Yep.
I believe.
Everyone went crazy.
Crazy.
$1. I was just like, what's happening? They haven't even you have to give it time. Technology takes time to develop. And,
definitely.
They do self-audit themselves, and they do quarter by quarter, and they're very transparent. So that's what I thought of when you said, transparency. Team is all PhDs. Written, the coding, the tech, it's all in Haskell, which is only input, output.
Whoa, are you a developer?
No, I'm not. I spent nights just searching up Cardano because for me that's one of my favorite projects.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm I'm a huge Cardano fan, and I don't know if
great.
people know that, but it's just like I know the programming language is named after Haskell, and
great.
It's because Charles Hoskinson. What I believe is that he's the co-founder to Ethereum, and Ethereum it got hacked, the DAO got hacked, and because of that, I believe that he's still with Ethereum Classic because he believes in the immutability of it, but he is developing Cardano on Haskell, this programming language that can only do inputs and outputs, and it's just a short code that it can't really be hacked, and he's really upping the security. So the Cardano testnet is out, the mainnet is out. I mean, I'm already on it, and I'm syncing to their blocks.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Wow, you're really into the space.
And that's just
awesome,
what
man.
I do. Yeah.
You were just pretending with the Explain Like 112 stuff.
Well, yeah, because I mean, our audience, not everybody knows everything.
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
we're
that's
like,
good.
I would say our channel is like the Magic School Bus or Sesame Street of crypto.
Okay, no, that's good. That's great. They need that. They need that learning on ramp.
Right, because not everybody can come in. They're like, yeah, I know this. I know C++. I know JavaScript. I know, So
totally.
So we just
yeah. Great, awesome.
It's the 50 toilet paper.
No, I got it. Hey, the fifth T is token economics.
Ooh.
Tokenomics. So sorry, that's like obvious, duh. But so it's team, tech, traction, transparency, and tokenomics. What I mean by that is, yes, Aditya. After I said it, thank you for putting it out there. But essentially what that means is how is the token incorporated into the entire ecosystem of the project, right? There's a lot of ways that tokens can be designed. This is still a very early industry for token economics. Like there's a lot of like game theory involved. Shout out to Game Theory Group.
So what is game theory?
Yeah, so game...
not Julian's game theory.
Yeah.
What is game theory in general?
So game theory is, this is actually something that I know a little bit about because I used to work in a game theory lab back in college at UCLA.
Nice.
Basically game theory is a study of like, almost like it's a numbers game where you're like figuring out human behavior based on like probabilities and behavioral actions. So a really popular game theory experiment was what's called Prisoner's Dilemma. Have you heard of Prisoner's Dilemma?
Is that like the Stanford experiment?
Yeah, it's the experiment where I think I might be botching this completely, so I apologize. But say we both get arrested.
All right.
We're in jail.
In the back
right,
of
and then there's two rooms now, and the police officer goes, Nathan, if you tell me what happened, I'm gonna let you go.
I don't believe you, sir.
And then the same guy tells me, like, if you tell me what happened, I'm gonna let you go. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. But the thing is, like, if we both don't tell them what happens, then we both get let go.
Right.
Eventually. But if you say, hey, if you snitch on Brian, I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna get Brian. And then they tell the same thing to me. If you snitch on Nathan, I'm gonna let you go, but Nathan gets
one phone call. I need my phone call.
Yeah, exactly. So like the theory behind like how we react to this is game theory. How are we incentivized to act? How are we incentivized to do what we do based on like the conditions that are presented to us. So for tokens, you want to provide certain incentives that kind of make the participants in your platform act a certain way. Right. So the general rule of thumb is that you want to create the token to incentivize the users to interact and use the platform, right?
Right.
And also hold the token at the same time. Because you want as many people to want your token as possible because that makes your token value go up.
Right.
And then at the same time, you want people to interact with your platform too. So like to kind of spin the token economics in a way that it solves all these problems is a challenge. And that's something that we look at as well deeply in our diligence process.
So the 5 T's. And then
5 T's.
So there's a double question here, which Aisha also, what makes a company a good fit for Republic, which also kind of bounces off Clash saying, how do you make sure that the projects that people start are legal? Is there a filter for legal things like child pornography, gross, for the project description, or even the videos, like scandalous stuff?
Right. Okay. Let's start. Okay, I'm gonna address
one at a time.
Luke's question first. I'll get to you, Aisha. Thanks for the shout out, Aisha. How do you make sure that the projects people start are legal? Is there a filter for legal things? Oh yeah, totally. There's totally a filter. Yeah, we get a ton of inbound requests on our platform for projects that are straight up scams, and those don't even make it past our first layer of diligence, right? So we have a team. So Aisha actually is on Republic. on our crypto team in New York, and she actually is the person that does the first pass and makes sure that no scams make it up to our platform. So there are definitely interesting things that come our way, and thanks to people like Aisha, they don't even get the light of day on our platform.
So you're saying I should fly to New York and talk to Aisha about this?
You really should. If you're ever in New York, yeah, talk to Aisha, meet the rest of the team. They're really cool people. I was just there yesterday. Amazing. You should, yeah, if you're ever in New York, let us know. We'll coming in our office.
Okay. Yeah, I might actually, I was talking to Julian about it. I might be going out there for another AMA session. So
please. Yeah. You should definitely talk to Aisha or anybody else on the Republic team. They're all great people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And just one more point on Luke's question. We actually, part of our diligence process, we do background checks. I mentioned this thing called KYC AML, Know Your Customer Anti-Money Laundering, which is a type of check that we do, and we basically it encompasses everything to make sure that we don't get any like bad actors in the space.
Right.
I do want to touch on Aisha's question. What makes a company a good fit for Republic?
And why would they go there rather than doing an offering only to accredited investors?
Yeah, so this is a perfect, we get this question a lot, companies that try to raise, they're like, what are you looking for? How do I pass your diligence?
Right.
We're looking to basically highlight what we believe are credible, legitimate projects that are looking to progress the blockchain space in a positive light, right? Like in the current space, there's a lot of, I feel like the general public doesn't have the most positive image of blockchain technology.
Yeah.
So we want to be that force that kind of changes that and allows people to believe like, hey, there are real projects, they're on Republic, and everyday people can invest.
Right.
And
that's good.
In my mind right now, the ideal company that can raise on our platform is someone that, obviously has like the 5 T's are good, right? Their technology is good, their team is legitimate, they have like solid token economics, they have traction, and I keep messing with the transparency, and they have toilet paper, and they're transparent, right? So we want a company that fits all of these things, and also are looking to promote a broader distribution of their token by offering it to the unaccredited investor crowd to be on our platform. So if you're a company and you're super legit, you obviously have the attention of companies like Andreessen Horowitz, like all these like legitimate VC firms. They're all investing in your project,
right?
Which is great for you,
right?
But is it great for everybody else, right? Is it great for the public? Is it great for me and you,
right?
If we can't get access to it, like
then what's the point? Only private investors get it.
Yeah, only private investors get it, right? So like we want to talk to these projects that are also like very, very legitimate, but also care about distributing their token and providing access to the general public, right? And if the token economics are sound, then they really want to get those tokens in the hands of as many people as possible. Right? Because why would you design a blockchain project that would only work with that is centralized, right?
Yeah,
like it's one of the core tenets of blockchain to decentralize, right?
Yep.
And in order to promote decentralization, you want to get your tokens in the hands of as many people as possible.
Yep. That means that's mass adoption.
Mass adoption, right? And that leads to mass adoption. And how can you get your tokens in the hands of as many people as possible compliantly?
Compliantly with following the law.
With following the law, that's Republic, right?
Yeah.
So on our platform, like we want these projects that value compliance and value decentralization and value like letting everybody in financial inclusion, right? They value letting everybody get a piece of the pie.
Right. That's great.
These are the people that we want on our platform.
Okay, so you're only looking for like people who truly believe in it. So if you don't believe in the platform, you shouldn't be there anyways.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. All right, Henry, can we do our own token sale, but also utilize you guys as a way for people to buy into the token sale, such as utilizing you guys as an alternative way for investors to purchase?
Yes. So the answer to that question is yes. If you were doing your own token sale and you want to leverage our platform to allow, the American public or just like non-accredited investors, we also do international as well. You want to have a platform for the non-accredited retail public to invest, then yes, you can leverage our platform for that.
So how would they do that? Would they just launch it and then if they have 5 T's, they contact you?
Yeah, so companies you can just go do your own thing And then when you feel like you're ready to launch a campaign for the retail public, then you apply on our website, make sure you have the 5 T's ready, and we'll put you through our diligence process. And if you pass, then you get listed on our website.
How long does that process usually take?
So I would say from application to launch, that process will take about 1 month. And that includes the entire diligence process and also working with our internal team to guide you through like high-level marketing advice and also how to make your product landing page really pretty, right? Because you want to have a page that looks really nice, video, like highlight all your key notes, like who your investors are, things like that, and make it enticing for people to invest in. So that whole process from application, diligence, onboarding, all of that will probably take approximately a month.
And that actually rings true to my heart because, as a YouTube influencer and as a team, many people are always like, you gotta put out videos quick, But then if you guys are taking a month, we can take a month.
Oh yeah,
a really good video.
For quality, man.
So
you got it. Quality over quantity. That's definitely our thing, right? But there's a ton of projects. We can list many projects right now if we wanted to.
Right.
But the problem is we want to showcase what we believe are like vetted quality projects so that when people come to our platform, they can have peace of mind that they're investing in something that's, been through like a diligence process and is not a scam.
Okay, so last question here. Ayesha says, can you talk about Republic's due diligence process?
Yes, so some details about our diligence process. Of course, we look at the 5 T's. But we have basically a 3-step diligence process.
Okay.
So if you're a project that wants to apply on our platform, you first go through, provided that you pass our initial screening that you're not a scam, we have an internal diligence call with someone on our crypto team to learn about the project, make sure you check out the 5 T's. Then we also have a third-party diligence partner that will actually do a second review, a more in-depth review.
Okay.
And then provided that passes, we have what's called an investment committee. Inside that we decide we have like 5 people internally that decide and vote on what projects go through or not.
Do you guys have someone that goes through the code itself?
Yes, we have technical diligence. Sorry, oh wow, I totally missed that. And I'm so glad you brought that up. We have a technical diligence call too. So that actually brings up 4 steps.
Okay.
So we have our initial call, third-party call, technical diligence call, and an investment committee.
Yeah, so there's a hole in the code.
Yeah, so we have a technical diligence call with some of the engineers internally to our team as well as some of our partners. And we take a technical deep dive of the project and make sure that there are no holes in the code and make sure that the project itself at its technical core is sound.
Cool. All right, so what are some of the projects, this is my personal, what are some projects that you're looking at and what are some projects that you are invested in?
Yeah, so I like a lot of projects that are working to build like the infrastructural layer. So this is I feel like I'm repeating a lot of what maybe common crypto investors say.
That's fine.
But I'm also really in order for the blockchain space to be massively adopted and successful in mass market, we need to have solid fundamentals, right? In order for that to happen, we need to be looking at blockchain protocols that are scalable, and also blockchain projects that are secure, and have solid teams or partnerships behind it. Right. So that being said, I'm invested in Ethereum, Ether, which is the cryptocurrency that's in Ethereum. I also like a project called 0x. 0x. So 0x is also another infrastructural layer project that is creating a platform in which people can trade cryptocurrencies.
Right. Have you heard of Radar Relay?
Radar Relay.
We just did a video on that.
You did?
That. Yeah, we're dropping a Radar Relay video.
Oh, awesome.
But they're great.
Cool.
They're great.
Where are they based? Are they Denver?
They're based in Denver, Boulder, Colorado. Colorado somewhere.
Oh, cool.
I won't get that wrong.
Did you go to Colorado for that?
No, I met them out here.
Oh, awesome.
I met them in Los Angeles,
nice.
And they wanted to do a video, and I thought that relayers, the decentralized. So we have centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, and then we have relayers, which is Craigslist or whatever.
Definitely. Cool, man.
Yeah.
So 0x definitely I like these projects that are building. They're providing the tools for which other people can build on top of, right? So Radar Relay is using 0x as a tool to build what they're doing.
Right.
And there are projects there are projects that are building on top of Ethereum to do what they're doing. So these projects that enable further development are what at least pique my interest at the moment. I foresee, in the future as these like infrastructural layer projects become more cemented, they become more scalable, they become more robust, like then the interest will start moving up to like application layer projects. So projects that build on top of Ethereum and maybe projects that build on top of that.
Oh, wow.
So you can think of it almost like, think of Uber, right?
Yeah.
Uber requires many things to exist. Uber requires cell phones to exist.
Internet.
And it requires internet to exist. It also requires GPS to exist. Okay. All of these things require internet to be built, right?
Right.
So like right now we're kind of at that like internet layer, and we don't even know like what the next Uber will look like, right? Because it's gonna Uber iterates on almost like 3 tech layers to be where it's at, right? Like GPS, like smartphones, which had to be built on top of normal phones, internet, all these things.
Speed.
Yeah, speed. And also cars had to have, ways to keep the phones alive. Like there's like all these things that had to have existed for something like Uber to exist. And I feel like in blockchain, we're at that super bottom layer where we don't even know what the next like Uber will look like because we haven't even built the steps to get to there.
I see. So we're still like a baby.
Yeah, we're still a baby. So I'm super excited for like these infrastructural projects to be built and developed on, so that they can be, they can lead to newer and cooler projects.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's jump out for a second. Since you have your morning routine, which is like the less decisions you can make, the better.
For sure, totally.
Put on a shirt and go.
Yeah.
What is some advice for some new investors out there that you have? That's the first question. Let's start with that.
Yeah.
And then let's do that first. Some new investors coming into the space, what advice do you have?
Yeah, new investors to the space. So something I touched on earlier is don't invest or only invest money that you're literally willing to throw away. Then at that point your expectation is 0, which is a general life rule in my opinion. Having low expectations in life will lead you to be happier with anything that happens.
But having said that, low expectations but high standards.
Yeah, high standards. So you have like high standards, but you don't expect them to be met all the time because when they do get met, it's very, very happy.
Right.
So that's the approach that I have for cryptocurrency investing. Like make sure you're using money that's basically like your spare change or money that you're willing to throw away. And then once you decide you want to contribute money to cryptocurrency, I like to use a technique called dollar cost averaging. And what that means is if you have $1,000 that you want to invest in cryptocurrency, I would say break that up into manageable chunks, maybe 4 or 5 chunks.
Like $250 to $200
at
a time.
So between $200, $250 at a time, and invest those across a certain time period. So if you have $1,000, I would say maybe invest $250 this week, $250 the next week, $250 the third week, and $250 on the 4th week. And by doing that, you're hedging against market volatility. So if as opposed to dumping all $1,000 today, and the market takes a dump, then you would lose all that pretty instantaneously. But if you contributed $250 and the market took a dump, you would lose that. But now you have another $250 to throw in at a lower price,
and it's on sale.
You
can average that out.
You can average that out. So you're averaging across the dollar your investment. So that's kind of my personal those 2 things are what I recommend. For those of you that use Coinbase has a functionality that allows you to set recurring investments at a fee. So that, you have to pay for that a little bit, but something like contributing $25 a week into Ether is something that would be advisable if you are trying to just dollar cost average without thinking too much about it.
Interesting. Okay, cool. So that's my question. And then just as a success, so everyone, how do you define success? What's your definition of success?
Yeah, so success in life, success in investments.
Both.
I personally view success as just like happiness and self-content, right? Like if you go home and you're like pretty happy with how things are in life and you're like, nothing's like nagging in the back of your mind, and you feel kind of at peace with where you're at, then that's kind of what I call a success, right? If you define success as something along the lines of like, oh, I want to be a millionaire, you're almost like stressing too much. And I personally am the type of person that doesn't like to be stressful, and I like to be very like I like to live a really chill life, not worry about too many things, you know, hang out, just be chill.
Just relax.
Yeah, just relax. That's kind of how I like to see things. And if you set that to be your goal, then you feel like a little bit more content most of the time, and you're less strung out worrying about like how I can reach that next level of success. Right? If you're always like kind of hungry and like kind of doing that rat race of like catching that next level of success,
you're just worrying about the future.
You're just always worrying.
You're not present.
Yeah, you're not present. So exactly, so you're never like truly like satisfied where you are. I'm not saying that you should just be content with where you're at all the time,
right?
But you should learn to be happy with where you are, or if you're not, figure out what's making you not happy and solve that so that you can be happy.
Right. And do you believe that there's always an end goal? Because most people I talk to, I realize that a lot of successful people, they believe that they've never made it yet. But to others, they're hella successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I know what you mean. And it really depends like how you view it. I personally don't think, like, if you're always searching for something more, then you'd never be like happy.
Right.
What I believe that you can still be happy, but strive to improve yourself without feeling that you have not succeeded until you've reached your goal. Right?
That's deep.
So like there's a way that you can still be happy with where you're at, but still feel like you can improve, right? You can still, like, I'm always like trying to improve. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to, make more money. I'm trying to improve myself, become smarter, become more efficient, all these things. But at the same time, I still remember that where I am, like, I've made a lot of progress from where I've come. I grew up without a lot of money, and I'm, back in the day, I probably would wish that I am where I am now. Right?
Same here. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So like now that you're there, So now that you're there, you don't want to like be unhappy with it because you know that maybe like Bryan of 10 years ago wished that he's Bryan of now.
Living out of his car back then.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't want to not give yourself credit for what you've done.
Right.
So like remembering to give yourself credit for what you've accomplished, but still like seeking improvement is I think a good way to live. But you don't want to be stressing out all the time about like, when am I gonna get promoted, or like what can I do to make more money, or
just thinking too far ahead.
Yeah, thinking too far ahead, or like I want to be a millionaire. Like all these like goals that you don't want to be stressing over, but at the same time like kind of like know that it exists, work towards it in a methodical way, but don't let it get to you, and like don't let it affect you, and you don't forget like that you've come a long way to be where you're at.
That's really good advice. So what do you do to reach that goal? Like, do you have a vision board? I saw you guys have a ton of whiteboards in there. We have whiteboards as well. Other CEOs I talked to have whiteboards. Right. What do you use to kind of track your progress? Do you have daily goals? Do you have weekly goals?
Yeah.
Do you have?
Yeah, I have a lot of goals. I use, if you're just like talking about like tactical tools, I use what's called like a Kanban board. That basically, if anyone knows what Trello looks like,
we use Trello.
Yeah, Trello, like things like Trello, right?
You're probably like, now.
Shout out to Aditya. I don't know if you're still watching, but we use something that's called Notion, which is similar to, which has a feature that's like Trello, where you have all these different boards.
Okay.
But basically, I just have I like to keep my life pretty organized. I have a list of things I need to do, things that are in progress, and things that are completed. Right.
Man, Gio's been telling me, so our director's been telling me to do that for the longest time. I never listened, but if you
it's basically like having Post-it notes, right? You just have Post-it notes too. So I'm pretty visual. I also have like not great memory, so I need to like put it all down.
Right.
I cannot trust myself to remember like to do things, so that's why these boards are very, very helpful for me.
Okay.
So I have like these boards to organize my life and make sure that I follow up on things that I haven't, and make sure that I list things that I need to get done. So it's almost like a to-do list.
About prioritize.
Yeah, prioritize.
Organize. All right.
So that's kind of how I keep it.
That's what I got to work on. Okay.
That's how I keep it together.
All right. So that's it. Let's. Do you have any favorite movies, favorite food that you want to share? Just to get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah. Favorite food, probably hands down, would have to be In-N-Out Burger. This is what it is, man. Like, I actually had one last night. It was great. So I just came back from spending about a week in New York, and the first thing that I did when I came back was grab an In-N-Out Burger on the way home. I would consider that probably my favorite food. And then in terms of movies, I don't know. I like action movies.
Okay.
I also like funny movies.
Okay.
I don't like scary movies.
Okay.
I'm not a scary movie guy. But if I had to choose like favorite movie, I would say something like The Matrix. Like
I like Inception. So that's
Inception. Yeah, same type of thing. Like movies that make you think a little bit, but also are visually appealing and stylistic. Those are like I really appreciate like cool style and like cool effects, but also that philosophical aspect.
Right.
Like Inception, The Matrix, like they're definitely like things that I like.
Confirmed loves it about.
That's my girlfriend. Hey, Amy.
I was just gonna ask you that. So you got a girlfriend or what?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's Amy. Basically, she picked me up from the airport, and she was like, "What do you want to eat?" I was like, "Do I need to answer that question?" And she's like, "Actually, I know." So then we just went straight to In-N-Out Burger.
Okay.
And,
how did you guys meet? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer any of these. We're kind of like off air, so
we met. So we didn't really talk about my career path, but basically, before Republic, I worked at a strategy consulting firm. Before that strategy consulting firm, I worked at a startup. Mm-hmm. We met at that startup.
Oh, nice. So you had a lot of startups beforehand, medical stuff as well? Or?
Yeah. So before the startup, I worked at a medical device company, and I was there for about 4 years, and then before that I was in college, right? So I studied bioengineering at UCLA, did some research, actually did a really interesting project with DARPA at UCLA too, and then that kind of got me into the medical device field, and then I left that, did startups for a while in San Francisco, where I met Amy, and then after that I was actually fun employed for a little bit. Built my own computer, played a lot of video games.
Hey, which ones?
I played a lot of Overwatch, so I don't know if my friends were still watching, but we played a lot of Overwatch together.
It's over.
Yeah, it was over, man. Like we were like up late at night, like on these like headphones, just like yelling at each other. So that was good times.
When are you getting married? As I cut this, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I won't put you on the spot like that.
Later, yeah.
Okay, so what's some music that you like? I'm about to stop this.
Yeah. So my favorite music right now. I like hip hop music, right? So like, I was in a hip hop dance team at UCLA.
No, you were not.
Yeah,
I'm a dancer.
Oh yeah.
Which team?
Which team were you on? So I was in a team called VSU Modern.
Okay.
And
I'm not cutting this yet.
Yeah, we were in a team called VSU Modern. Shout out to all the alumni there. Maybe I don't know if they're watching, but we did a lot of like hip hop choreo.
Okay. Favorite dancers?
I like Keone and Mari. If you know who they are.
Madrid, yeah.
Yeah.
The couple.
The couple. Yeah, they were like super great, right? Back when I was dancing, they were a part of I think Choreo Cookies in San Diego.
Yeah. Choreo Cookies, huge team though.
Yeah, huge team. That one, they had like really amazing stuff. So I used to go to like Vibe.
Okay.
What's the
Millennium?
one? Oh, I used to dance for Team Millennia back in the day.
Oh, dope. Okay, so do you know Moon or Pac-Man or any of those guys?
Oh, I know Moon.
They're all from my city. We all grew up dancing together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So Moon started, Millennium, Shanghai, Millennium, Beijing. He's out there. Pac-Man is still in LA right now.
Oh, cool.
He lives up in North Hollywood.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So they're my people.
Yeah, that's dope. I used to dance. It was like a lot of good times back there. I actually have a few pictures. Before Jabberwockies and Cloud Modern got famous. Like,
Mike Song.
Yeah, Mike Song,
Brandon and all those guys.
Yeah.
Hey, that's sick.
That's cool, yeah. And I'm sure most of them are still in LA. Other favorite dancers, I really like Kyle Hanagami.
Good choice.
I like, I forgot, who's that guy from GRV that I really like?
I know GRV.
I like GRV, they're like one of my favorite dance teams.
Okay.
And GRV, Choreo Cookies, like, CADC.
I don't know. IME is my people.
Yeah. So those guys are all really good. A lot of like the SoCal dance groups, right? Like it's just where I grew up at. So,
That's I like California. Hanacoro. A lot of b-boy crews. That's my bread and butter. I used to travel for battles and stuff like that.
Oh, cool. I should probably connect you with some of my friends because we're part of a dance crew down in LA. I don't really hang out with them anymore because I live in San Francisco.
I don't really dance anymore. I'm full time in the crypto, but I mean,
you should meet them.
Down to battle or
you should.
whatever.
What kind of dance do you do?
I do breaking. I try to do all styles. Do a little bit of crumping, voguing. I can house. I can salsa. Yeah, some of that.
Yeah.
You know,
that's awesome. Yeah. Cool. Let's do it. I should introduce some of my friends that they still dance, still hang out. Like they don't dance as hardcore anymore, but they still like hang out in like session.
Word. Yeah. Like I don't really full time, but breaking is really my thing. You know, hip hop, just like you know, being in the moment, creating moves, burns, you know, transitions, all that good stuff, basics, fundamentals.
That's cool. Yeah.
Well, it was really good to meet you. Until next time, guys.
Yeah.
So see y'all next time.
Thank you.